Financial freedom. It's the dream we're all chasing, right? But what if I told you that everything you know about achieving it might be outdated? Today, we're diving into a book that's turning traditional financial advice on its head.
Oh, now you've got my attention. What book are we talking about?
We're discussing The Modern Path to Financial Freedom, a youth's guide to generating income and overcoming debt by Dr. Jonathan Chuma. It's a fascinating look at how the digital age has completely transformed our financial landscape.
That sounds intriguing. What makes this book stand out from all the other financial advice books out there?
Well, what's really unique about Dr. Chuma's approach is how he combines timeless financial principles with cutting edge digital strategies. He's not just rehashing the same old save more, spend less advice. Instead, he's showing young people how to leverage modern tools and platforms to create multiple income streams and build wealth in ways that simply weren't possible a generation ago.
Multiple income streams, you say? That's something I've been hearing a lot about lately. Can you give us an example of what he suggests?
Sure thing. One of the most interesting strategies he discusses is using online platforms like Upwork or Fiverr to start freelancing. He points out that with these platforms, you can turn almost any skill into a potential income source. Whether you're good at writing, graphic design, or even voice acting, there's likely a market for your skills online.
That's fascinating. But what about people who don't feel like they have any marketable skills? Does the book address that?
Absolutely. Dr. Chuma dedicates an entire chapter to what he calls skill discovery and development. He argues that in today's digital economy, even hobbies or interests that might seem trivial can be monetized. For example, he shares a case study of a college student who turned her passion for bullet journaling into a successful YouTube channel and online course business.
Wow, that's pretty inspiring. But let's be real for a moment. Doesn't starting an online business or freelancing career require a lot of upfront investment?
That's one of the myths that Dr. Chuma really tries to debunk in the book. He introduces concepts like drop shipping and print on demand services, which allow you to start an e commerce business with minimal upfront costs. In fact, he cites a study showing that 62% of entrepreneurs start their businesses with less than $1,000 in capital.
Those are some impressive statistics. But what about the elephant in the room debt? So many young people are struggling with student loans and credit card debt. Does the book offer any hope for those who are already in a tough financial situation?
Oh, absolutely. Dr. Chuma doesn't shy away from the debt issue at all. In fact, he dedicates a significant portion of the book to debt management strategies. He introduces methods like the snowball and avalanche techniques for paying off debt, and even provides scripts for negotiating with creditors to lower interest rates or create more manageable payment plans.
The snowball and avalanche methods? Can you break those down for us?
Sure thing. The snowball method is all about psychological momentum. You start by paying off your smallest debts first, regardless of interest rates. The idea is that those quick wins will motivate you to keep going. On the other hand, the avalanche method focuses on paying off the debts with the highest interest rates first, which can save you more money in the long run. Dr. Chuma cites a study showing that people using the snowball method were 14% more likely to eliminate all their debt compared to those using other methods.
That's really interesting. It sounds like there's a psychological component to financial management that we often overlook.
Exactly. And that's another area where this book really shines. Dr. Chuma spends a lot of time discussing the mindset needed for financial success. He talks about developing a growth mindset, celebrating small wins, and the importance of financial education. Did you know that, according to a survey he cites, only 24% of millennials demonstrate basic financial literacy?
Wow, that's a shockingly low number. Does he offer any suggestions for improving financial literacy?
He does, actually. He recommends a combination of formal education, like online courses from platforms like Coursera or Khan Academy, and more informal learning through podcasts, YouTube channels, and financial blogs. He also strongly advocates for hands-on experience, suggesting that young people start investing small amounts of money as soon as possible to learn the ropes.
Speaking of investing, does the book cover that topic? I know a lot of young people are interested in things like the stock market or cryptocurrency, but it can seem really intimidating.
Oh, definitely. There's an entire chapter dedicated to investing for the future. Dr. Chuma breaks down the basics of the stock market, explains the difference between individual stocks and index funds, and even dives into more complex topics like real estate investing and cryptocurrency. But he's very careful to emphasize the importance of understanding risk management and diversification.
That's a lot to cover. Does he recommend any specific investments?
Well, he's careful not to give specific investment advice, which I think is actually a strength of the book. Instead, he focuses on teaching the principles of investing and risk management. He emphasizes the importance of doing your own research and not just following trends. One thing he does strongly recommend is taking advantage of compound interest by starting to invest as early as possible. He gives an example showing that if you start investing $200 a month at age 25, you could have over $500,000 by age 65, assuming an average annual return of 7%.
Those numbers are pretty eye-opening. It really drives home the importance of starting early. But let's circle back to something you mentioned earlier, the idea of multiple income streams. How realistic is it for someone to juggle multiple income sources?
That's a great question, and it's something Dr. Chuma addresses head on in the book. He acknowledges that it can be challenging, but he provides strategies for managing multiple income streams effectively. He talks about the importance of time management, automation, and focusing on scalable income sources. For example, he suggests starting with a side hustle that complements your main job, then gradually building it up until it can potentially replace your primary income.
That makes sense. It sounds like this book could be a real game changer for a lot of young people. Any final thoughts on it?
I think what really stands out about this book is how Dr. Chuma manages to make financial freedom feel attainable. He doesn't sugarcoat the challenges, but he provides a clear roadmap and actionable strategies that anyone can start implementing right away. Whether you're drowning in debt or just starting to think about your financial future, there's something in this book for you.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling inspired to take a closer look at my own finances after this discussion. Thanks for sharing your insights on this book.
It's been my pleasure. And to our listeners, remember, your financial journey starts with a single step. Whether it's picking up a copy of Dr. Chuma's book, starting a side hustle, or just creating your first budget, the important thing is to begin. Here's to your financial freedom.
That's a great way to wrap things up. And remember, folks, financial freedom isn't just about having a lot of money. It's about having the knowledge and tools to make informed decisions about your finances. It's about taking control of your financial future.
Absolutely. It's about creating a life where money is a tool that works for you, rather than something that controls you. And with the strategies outlined in this book, that kind of freedom is within reach for anyone willing to put in the effort. Until next time, keep striving for those financial goals.